And today to help me, I've got my husband, Chad Edwards. He has some really good visuals for you, as well as Eddie. He's gonna be the good student who's gonna be doing everything right and perfect. Well, we'll see how that goes. But I hope you enjoy it, and any feedback would be most welcome.
One of the good things about pickleball is that you can transition other sports into it. When I came over to it 4.5 years ago, one of the things I felt comfortable with was the lob retrieval. Obviously my background's in baseball, so I spent many years tracking and chasing down fly balls. And that's where we're gonna get into the most important part of the lob retrieval is the first 2 steps. One big rule of thumb for Simone and I, especially when we're teaching this, it's probably one of the funnest things for us to teach, but it's also one of the scariest. First rule of thumb, if we're here and your weight goes up and over your heels, yell yours. Forget about the ball, don't run. We've seen too many injuries where people have tripped over their heels moving backwards, they're backpedaling. So we're gonna talk about the correct movement or the fastest movement on how to go back and get these lobs. Now I'm gonna use some slappies as some stepping stones. So if our starting movement is here at the kitchen line, our first step, we wanna think about a gate or a door and the way it swings open. Our hip is gonna become that hinge. So our first step when that ball goes up is to open our hips. So our first step becomes here. From here, open. Now where does our second step go?
Pivot, yeah.
Our second step now pivots, and we've taken our hips directly to the ball. One of the things that we see a lot of times in this first 2 steps is we open and we just drop step. Now there's no pivot, there's no way to open my hips, so then we go back behind and we end up tripping ourselves up anyway. So again, open, and the foot is gonna point in the direction of the ball. I'm now able to open my hips again, square them up, and now I can take off for that ball. So Eddie, you're gonna come on in. So open, go. Then we can get into that running position where we're actually going to try to beat the ball to the spot. We're not gonna drift with the ball. One thing when we open up as well, remember that ball's going up and over our head. We're not going to go here and now here. We can't see that ball. One of the things we see a lot of the times is people running back and then that ball hits them in the back of the head. So to go along with that first step opening up, we have to find the ball. Now some people can run while they're still looking up, others find it difficult. But we can look up, find that ball, see where it's going, and now I can put my head down and still run because I've found the spot where that ball's going to go.
And one good way that we do this, especially for people who have problems with mobility, a lot of the times they will tell us, well, I'm not as agile as you are, because a lot of our clients are, older and have trouble moving, and our #1 priority is safety. We want to make sure that they're not falling on the courts. That's #1. And then of course we want them to be successful. So we want to make sure that they can get the ball and hit, a decent shot. And as the better they get, they're gonna hit even better shot. So the first thing that we can do is actually without the paddle, you want to give Chad the paddle real quick, and then you're gonna be ready and you're gonna be just catching the ball. Just turn, remember to do your pivot, and then run for the ball. So you ready? Go.
Open,
and you
go.
Bounce. I gave you an easy one. That's okay. And toss it back.
To start with, you're not going to go really deep.
Correct, because they're just
with this
turning.
drill.
The first thing is that a lot of times people just go, boom, backward right away. So the first thing is to learn to open your hips. Ready? And go. There you go. And now you're gonna let it bounce. Ready? Here we go. And go.
Open,
let it bounce.
go.
There you go.
That's
and you
it.
don't even have to run at that point. But you see how that is a pretty deep lob, and you're not really running at this point. Imagine if you did, we add the running to it. One more time, here you go, ready? And go.
Open, go.
Yeah. There you go, good.
Man, you're fucked.
So that's a good way to start when you're hesitant about learning new footwork, is just doing a hand toss, so that way you can get used to turning your hips and fetching the ball, okay?
Now the stepping stones continue. So we're gonna place this as our ball. Okay, so we've done our first 2 steps. We're here, we're going. Now what do we do? A lot of the times we see people find that ball and then they run directly for it. What do we do when we're here? We end up doing a shovel pass, or we don't know which way to go. Another thing to think of is we need to give ourselves some time, space, and separation between that ball. So rather than going directly to that ball, we're going to get around the ball. Think of the shape of a question mark. As we're going to that ball, now get around it, and we give ourselves some space to be able to hit our shot. A few things that typically we see a lot of the times, once they've gone back and gotten that ball, is we try to hit that ball at the highest part. We have more time. When we run back, we don't need to get that ball where it's up here. When that ball comes down, instead of going there, if we let it descend just a little bit, it's going to give us enough time for one more step to get past the ball. So as it comes down, we get past the ball, and now we're able to control our next shot a little bit more.
Get a third shot drop. That's what we're
ideally.
looking for. Yeah, ideally. Because again, like people talk about options, okay, what are my options? So of course you can choose to drive it, you can choose to lob it back, or you can choose to drop. So my order of preference would be, of course, put the ball back in play, no doubt about it, but it would be a drop, and then a lob, and then a drive. I mean, the drive, honestly, because you're running back, you drive that ball, now they hit a short, and now you're running again. So ultimately, the drop is gonna give you more time to come in. Now, the other thing that people always ask us, especially if you come out from tennis, because Chad is explaining here, this retrieval is for this person that is here. Now, take the example there, the yellow is where the ball is landing. So you might ask me, why wouldn't this person take that ball? Well, a lot of the times it's most difficult actually for that person. If you count the steps, so Eddie, if you get here for me, please, and Chad is there, if you count how many steps would take you, if you do your movement, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Now Chad is gonna do the same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7. Okay, and again,
I have larger steps than Eddie.
Chad is taller than, but it's in reality, he's taking 2 more steps than you are. Of course, that's because a lot of times people are hesitant to do that because they run and they are facing the ball. So creating that space is gonna solve that issue. Now, again, not a rule of thumb, that's different for everybody. But if I am playing and I am on the right side, I would cover most lobs that go to that area right there. If they're there, that forehand can take it. But if they are to this side of the court, I would rather my partner take it, because again, otherwise I have to run over there. Now we have to switch, and they have created a lot of chaos, okay? And the same thing, if the ball goes to that corner, now this person has to fetch from here to there to hit a backhand. Much more difficult. Maybe a lefty a little bit different, but it's kind of the same scenario where this person is taking a lot more steps. So I would say less is more in this case. So, okay, so let's try the execution. You've done this before, honey.
Sometimes, occasionally.
There you go. All right, Eddie, let's see if you can do this.
Yeah. You got it. No pressure. The wind's pushing that way just a little bit.
Yeah. Just make sure that you open the gate. The first thing that you're going to think about as soon as that ball leaves the paddle. Open. Open and run. There you go. Now, one thing, and again, you move well. Just make sure you don't waste steps either. So that first one, you kind of did a couple of steps on this. Yes. So no stutter step, because ultimately we want you to get past that ball just a little. Okay.
Gain ground with the first 2 steps.
Yeah. There you go. Run and get past it. Run and get past it. Past it. Past it. There you go. That's it. Because a lot of times we panic and we think, I gotta hit it, I gotta hit it. But again, it's a wiffle ball. It's gonna travel in the air for a long time, and when it bounces, it's gonna come up, and you can take your time to hit that ball. Because again, you're looking for a third shot drop. We don't hit third shot drops up here.
One thing to explain, and I'm glad that you actually did it, because a lot of the time when people do this first step, what they end up doing is they open, then they pivot here, and then we have to take a third step to go.
Yeah.
If we focus more on relaxing and being deliberate with our movement, and we go 1, 2, we've gained ground in 2 steps rather than potentially going 1, 2, 3, 4.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of times I recommend that when you turn, you already pivot this foot. Yeah, turn that foot already, even more. So that way you're ready to like sprint.
Okay.
Yes. So that way you're not wasting any steps. There you go.
Open.
Turn and go. Nice, good. Come back. Do it again. See, that's a good dink. One, easier to lob, give space. Nice, better. So the next step now is working on that third shot drop. That would be the next. But that's getting your arm further out from your body. Get that arm away from your body. Go, 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 away from your body. There you go, good. Again.
Still a little bit, you can give more separation between the direction that you're running to that ball. Instead of running directly to where that ball's gonna bounce,
Go.
Circle around it.
Oh,
The wind, the wind.
Oh, look at that drop. Go, go.
Get around it. There you go.
That's a beauty.
Yeah, felt very comfortable.
But that's a lot of times we don't believe that we have time. But if you can take aggressive first step, you will get to that ball much faster. I mean, honestly, I do this a lot of times. I demo this walking so people can see. Like I'll show you, because a lot of times is that aggressive first step is more important than the speed of your run. Of course, it helps if you're young and you can run really fast. But if you can focus on that first opening, so again, I'm walking to the ball. I'm not even running, but just like I need to get that first step open. And you see how I walked past it. That's how much time. If I can, of course, sprint, much better. But that's the part where really opening up your hips and pivoting that foot, so that way it's almost like you're ready to then sprint, versus like, you know, we kind of go here, 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 do 3 steps before we get running. So right away, boom, open and go.
Yeah, think about beating that ball to the spot. Don't drift with it. If you drift with it, we'll never get past it, and it becomes more difficult to hit that third shot drop or put a consistent ball in. If we open and go and beat that ball to the spot, or try to, then we've got a better chance of getting past it, being able to hit that drop and transition back forward. How do we know if we're going to hit a forehand or a backhand, or how do we know which direction that we're going to turn? For a ball over your right shoulder, you're going to open with your right hip. Ball over your left shoulder, open with your left hip. What happens with the ball directly over our head? We're going to turn to our paddle side. It's our dominant side.
Yep.
It's easier for us to open. Now, as soon as we open to the right side, we're committing ourselves to a forehand, because it's going to be very difficult to come and run back around this way, and we're going to lose time. Now, obviously, there are gray areas where, on a day like this where it's windy, where that ball may blow, and we just have to try to adjust, you know, mid course. But if we open up to the left, that's gonna lock us into a backhand.
My preference, my recommendation, a lot of people like to switch. I'm not a big fan, and I'll show you why here. You. Nice get. Ah, don't kill yourself. It was out anyways, right?
It was out, it was a little long.
I got it. Stay there. There you go. Go. I got it. You. Good. So again, it's just making sure you're gonna have to learn to communicate. And a lot of the times, it's that miscommunication between partners that also creates chaos. And that's what the lob does a lot of the times, is create chaos between partners. So making sure that you're communicating, but to me it's efficiency, right? The right turn, the correct side to turn, a lot of times that will determine if you're going to be able to get to that ball or not. For the first part of the video, we're gonna go over the offensive lob. When we're talking about an offensive lob, it's one that happens at the kitchen. And again, this is something that you want to disguise. You don't want your opponents to know that it's coming. As far as technique goes, it should look a lot like your dink. So if you have that continental grip, okay, we're gonna be looking to open the face of the paddle. When you're hitting your dink, you're just hitting straight ahead, forehand or backhand. The difference is that now you're going to look for some height and some depth. So you have to extend your paddle forward and out. And you are trying to, again, you're trying to clear your opponent as they have their, like Chad is tall, so you want them to be able, like your ball to be over their head, but also you want that ball to land deep into the court. So you're going to have to extend. As you can see, I'm bending my knees. A lot of times I see a lot of players trying to hit lobs and they just flick their wrist. That's not gonna go anywhere. Most likely it will go up, but it won't get that depth that we need. So getting your paddle to extend, use your body to lift that ball, okay? And again, so the face of the paddle is gonna open up. So let me show you real quick here. So when we dink, it looks like, and a lot of the times, the good ball to do the offensive lob is one that is not making you move much, and it's right in front of you. A lot of times I see people trying to hit lobs when the ball is really close to them, or they're far away on the stretch. You want this to push them back so you can be here ready to attack the next ball. Now you have gain control of the line. So again, one more time, just with the technique here, go ahead. So just looking to push, it looks like a dink. I'm not showing anything other than boom. And now I'm chasing him, making sure that he's running after it, okay? So let's see, Eddie the good student, let's see it. No pressure. So take your time, make sure it's the right ball. That's it, good, nice and soft, grip, good. So that one was not bad. We need now a little bit more height, so that means with the lift. Now, the other thing too, don't worry, you don't have to get rid of the ball very quickly. You actually can take your time with that ball. Pretend that ball is staying in your paddle longer, okay? Here we go, let's try again. That's it, good, nice and soft hands, perfect. Good, that's awesome. So you see the difference there? You're not really flicking that ball. It is actually almost like you carry, feels like you're carrying that ball with your paddle. Very nice, one more time, here you go. Good. Nice and soft. The dink was too much.
I blame the wind.
Yeah. There you go. Good, perfect, good. So again, it's very much a feel. It's not something that you're just trying to get rid of the ball. You're trying to push that ball up and over your opponent's head. With the backhand is no different. Keeping that contact point out in front and a push. And remember, you're not going quickly through it. You take your time with that ball as you push through. Okay, here we go. Good. That one was a tougher. So, but that's good because that one is a tougher dink that pushed you back. Your weight was shifted back. Remember, we want to use the body, so you want to make sure that you're. So I would say maybe more of a dink that lands in front of you there, so you can push the weight forward. Do it again, one more time. Yeah. Make sure the ball is right. It's like short one in front. That would be good. Yeah, that's good. So again, you're doing a great job. Now the only thing that I would work on is keeping that wrist. So instead of, yeah, but also then take it through that way versus closing the face. So the face of your paddle actually stays to Chad's face all the way through. Yes.
Stays open the whole way.
Oh, yes. Good. That's beauty. That's great. That's very good. All right, let's try one with the backhand. Same thing. Really focusing on that face of the paddle. Weight coming forward. Not that one. Yeah, that one I don't like. But that's the one that is too deep.
Okay.
Because again, when you finished, where was your weight? On your back foot.
Here, yeah.
So that's much harder. Try to focus on getting that weight to go forward. Okay, here we go. Do it again. That one would be great. That one. Go back in. There you go. Good. Good. Do it again. There you go. That's great. Good. So again, it's a feel shot. It's not something. It's a lot of it is soft hands, making sure that your contact point is in front and your weight is going forward. And then also the other thing. So some of them are going deep. One adjustment to make is to open the face actually right away. Open the face of the paddle right away. And then you lift. So that way you're not going, you're not pushing. And then that's why that finish, when you close the face and then you lift,
It's almost like flicking
the
the ball.
flicking.
Yeah.
Yes. So we want to try to get rid of that flick and just a smooth push. Okay, here we go. That one. That's good. That's better. That's it. Yeah, getting a feel for the right ball is really key. Got it. Back in. Wait. Wait. Not that one. There you go. That one. Good. And that's the thing about the lob. A lot of people do use their wrist. And to me, that's the one thing that I try to, it's that it's not a locked wrist, it's not a stiff wrist, not a stiff wrist. It's more of a relaxed, but it stays laid back a little bit. And on the backhand side, it's just you lead with your knuckles versus leading with like your fingers.
Gotcha.
So that's, yeah, so when you're going here, so just think of, like, watch my hand. Don't watch the ball, just watch the hand. So you see how, like, I barely touch it because of the fact that all I'm doing is using that push. I'm using my body to push that ball versus, look at the difference if I was to flick. That's, and again, and that's an exaggerated flick, but that's, it just goes up and it doesn't go through, okay? One more time, here you go. Great dinks. That's a beauty. Wait, yeah, there you go. Good, got it. So some key elements to it is making sure that the ball is out in front. That's why when people ask me, and Chad was addressing that, you know, some players will come and say, why do I get lobbed so much? Well, most of the time, because a lot of people say, oh, I should hit my dinks short, right? And I was like, well, not necessarily. If you hit too many dinks, like short dinks, you're more susceptible to that lob, because now they have all the time in the world to step in, use their body, lob you. So again, what Chad addressed, it was hitting a deeper dink is much harder to hit that lob because now your weight is on your back foot. So again, making sure that the ball is out in front so you can push that ball forward, shift that weight, and it doesn't alter your swing. You should not be taking the paddle back. It should look just like your dink. The difference is that we're looking for that push and extension out in front so you can create that height and the depth, okay? Good. Okay, so that is the lob. Hey guys, welcome back one more time here from Bonita Springs YMCA. I've got Chad and Eddie here with me, and this video is going to be about 3 of my favorite drills. I'm a creature of habit. I am never satisfied with my technique or how many repetitions of something I can get. So some of the drills, they might be boring to you, but I find a lot of enjoyment. A lot of the times is because I don't stop doing something until I feel really good about it. So the first one is dinking cross court. I love to dink cross court, but a lot of the times what I'm thinking is lots of footwork. I am working on my body movement, and I'm working on my control, and I'm working on where I'm hitting the ball. My focus here when I go cross court with Chad is that I'm not gonna miss, that I am going to be, I'm looking for perfection. I know it's hard, but I am trying to be as perfect as I can with my dinks. Sometimes, of course, that is impossible, but guess what? That is my goal, and that's what I'm hoping I can accomplish. So here we go. So when I'm going cross court, I'm really looking to get over. If I can take the ball out of the air, there you go. If I can take the ball out of the air, I will. Nice. There you go. And I'm looking to lean on a lot of these. I'm trying to lean my body forward. All right, Eddie, let's see it. Let's see it. Again, no pressure. Just 100 in a row here. Nice, good, come on. Uh-oh, missed it. So when I'm thinking about this drill, like just really hitting the spots, making sure I'm recovering, not just standing. There you go. Good. Go. Ah, got him. Let's go.
I held my breath the whole time.
Well, that's one thing. Always remember to breathe. But again, I can do this forever. I love doing cross-court dinks, just really working on my footwork. Then I do the same thing on the backhand side. And really remember, no stationary. You don't stay in the corner. Come back and recover. There you go.
Come on! Yeah, I got one now.
So anyways, a lot of the times, again, that I would continue on doing, I don't know, 10 minutes probably on each side when I'm warming up, just playing. And then a lot of the times I'll build that into anything that I can attack, I will. So this is kind of like now testing it out. So anything that I can attack, I will attack. And I'm trying to get that ball, lean into it, and get that ball to go down to his feet, not just into his body, okay? That would be my first number one, always my warm up. I'll always start with that. Then the next part is, okay, so part number two is that I start to transition, and usually on that, we go here, and I love warming up here, and he's gonna vary the balls that he gives me. All I'm working on, again, is getting that ball to land into the kitchen. I'm taking the pace off, that's it. The less pace he gives me, the more I need to push. So if he gives me off-pace ball, I need to then push the ball forward more. If he gives me more pace, then I don't. There you go. Coming. I like to do a mini split every time. And I don't play out balls, by the way. I try not to hit out balls just because it's a habit that you develop. Here you go. So the next part is that when I'm comfortable, I feel really good about my transition shots, hard, soft, whichever way it comes, then I try to get myself in trouble on purpose so I can play a little defense. And that's much harder because now he should be on offense, I'm on defense. There you go. And my goal in here, when I'm doing this, what I'm really looking to do, as you can see on my stance, I tend to stay lower. I like my base a little wider. I'm doing my mini split step, but I'm trying to catch that ball out in front of me versus standing up. That's what I see a lot of my clients. That's the thing that we work on the most, is when they are in the transition area as they're moving in, they're standing up. And then the tendency is that the ball tends to then come at their feet, and then they have to go from up here to down to their feet. So I'm more in a squat position, kind of light on my feet, getting ready to hit that ball out in front of me and then continue to move forward, okay? So that would be my second favorite drill, working on that transition area. Then the third thing that I like to do is skinny singles. I play skinny singles as a practice all the time. Once I get through warming up, I will go straight to skinny singles, and this is how we do it. So it starts 0-0. So again, this first point, because I won, we play diagonal, so now it will be 1-0, and now we play straight ahead. Yes. So it'll be 2-0.
Oh my gosh.
All right, 3-0. Oh, that's a body bag. I had to. So the key here is that I am working on getting in, but again, I'm hitting good shots before I get in. I'm not just popping the ball up and running in. I'm taking calculated risk when I'm working on it. My goal here is to win the point, always is. I'm not just, just playing the point to play the point. I am working on certain spots of the court, and I am trying to be aggressive every opportunity I get. And that's kind of usually how I run through a doubles drill day for me. That's what it looks like. So I hope you enjoy it. And again, don't forget to smash body bag that subscribe button.